Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Stranded Deep in Conversation. I'd like to apologize first and foremost for the fact that this was out late. It's probably going to be out on Friday or Saturday. Hopefully Friday. I should be able to get this up by Friday. I apologize for that. I was going to. I don't have my headphones. I have my headphones on. I don't know why. I was planning on getting this done. I just completely forgot because I was too busy thinking about just doing some stuff, like changing up my room. So I changed up a lot of stuff in my room, and I changed up like my desk and like my general setup, to which I immediately hated and reverted everything back to the first step. So everything's gonna look exactly the same. It was gonna look different. It's gonna look the same for now, until I can find some satisfaction with that. So, yeah, because I was going to have it facing the wall, and then I'd have, like, either a green screen, or I'd just have some stuff on the wall that was cool. But for now, nothing. How about that? How about nothing? But I do still like it. Literally, the only difference right now is that my closets are... One of my closets has become a lot more organized. One of them is so disorganized, and I have a coffee table now in the middle of my room, because it was in one of my closets, and I don't want it in there anymore. So now it's just a coffee table in my closet. On the table. There's a coffee table on the floor in the room, which is very in the way. But I can't tell if I like it or not. So we're just gonna let it sit for a while because I have no idea. And let's just jump into this week in retail. Sorry, this is a very stringed out episode. This might not be very long. If it is long, it's not gonna make any sense. So, but when does it ever? Honestly, a whole bunch of tiny things happened this week. You know, it was Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Cheermas. I hope you had a good time with Cheermas, everybody. I'll talk about that in a second if I remember. So the Sunday was the last time I thought I'd see one of my coworkers before Christmas, and then the day after Christmas is their birthday. So I figured I'd give them their gift. I got them like a charging pad, which I think I mentioned on here before. But there was a whole thing where like for a while, and it kind of just went until I bought them the thing, where every time they would come up, I would try to sell them on a charging pad for their phone, which is like a wireless charging pad, which I didn't really think looked very good. I thought it looked pretty shitty, but I just love the idea of selling it to them, and they hated it. So I gave it to them, and they did appreciate it. I got some other stuff too they also appreciated, but yeah, it was just it was a fun little time with that, which also immediately made me forget that Tuesday was even their birthday, but we'll get into that in a second. On Monday was Christmas, again, Christmas time, very, very fun. I'll talk about some of the stuff I got. I dressed up as Santa for Christmas. I brought like my Santa masks that, you guys have seen before. I took that to work and had a good time with that. I had like a little Christmas sweater on. It was awesome. People were about a fifth of the people reacted how I expected. So whether it just be like that's awesome, or just like a getting in with it, like, yeah, Santa, how's it going, Santa? Just positive. About 20% of people reacted positively towards the Santa. Maybe like 60% responded pretty neutrally to Santa. They didn't have much to say, and 20% seemed kind of annoyed by it, which was confusing. It's Christmas, but also they're shopping, and some people were doing Christmas shopping. So, dear Lord, I applaud you. I don't know how you do that. But it was funny though, because I'd be like, "Merry Christmas, everyone." I even put on like a voice and everything. I was like, "Oh, hello, Merry Christmas," and some of them would just be like, "Hey, where's the toothpaste?" Which is fair, but also they just be like sourly, like your coupons are full, or like my coupons are not working, and they just be really upset, which I get. But it's like they seem just so out of it, and it's just like, dude, it's Christmas. Lighten up a little. I mean, obviously your coupon's not working. That's not the end of the world. If anything, you get in with Santa. Santa will give you whatever fuck you want. But yeah, it was just very fun. It was a very fun time that day. I was with a coworker who was just dying laughing the entire time because I was doing the Santa voice, and I can't keep a voice steady to save my life. So I had like 4 different Santa voices, which I only really realized when my manager came in to work the rest of the day, and then he mentioned it. But I also noticed that my coworker was just doing a British voice for some reason. They were just pulling off like a high-pitched, like Mrs. Doubtfire voice, and then it would kind of just change into different British accents for a while. So it was literally just me as like 4 different Santas, and them as like 4 different British people, all for the entire day. It was awesome. It was very fun. And then I came home. I got some stuff, the biggest of which is a banjo, which is really cool. I don't know how to play the guitar. It's been sitting in my room for who knows how long, but I really want to play this banjo. So I'm probably going to try to learn how to do that over the course of this next year or something. I don't really know. We'll have to see how it goes, but I'm hoping to learn that. Otherwise, I got a bunch of fun stuff. I got just a bunch of great stuff. I'll probably talk about it later. I think I'm going to go live later tonight or over the next couple days. Because I normally do anyway, but also I need to get started on a gift for somebody. So, yeah. But yeah, I did it last year with you guys. It was for my mom, my calendar. So I'm hoping that I can do that as well. Tuesday was my coworker's birthday, as I mentioned before. So the day after Christmas was their birthday, and I come in and I talk to them, and I completely forget that it is even their birthday. I had no idea until they mentioned that there was a birthday cake. They mentioned there were donuts. I was like, oh, that's nice. Someone brought donuts. That's nice. And then they're like, yeah, and again, there's a birthday cake for it too if you want some. And I'm like, well, why would there be a birthday cake? And then I'm like, oh my god, it's your birthday, of course. Oh, happy birthday, you nerd. Hello, of course. Oh, just shadoy. And they didn't mind at all. They just thought it was funny. And I thought it was horrible that the birthday cake was covered in coconut shavings. I do not like coconut, and that cake tasted good, but holy shit, the texture of the coconut on that cake made me want to never eat again. I don't know how I like those fucking Ruffalo Ruffalo candy things. I don't know what they are. They're not chocolate, I don't think. I don't know how I like them so much, because anything else that has coconut on it, I despise. This cake was the worst. I hated it. I hated the texture. Texture of that cake was some of the worst cake I ever had in my entire life. And I don't know why it exists. And then the next day happens. Where the only thing to note was that there was a guy in this. It was kind of funny story. So there's a guy who walks into the store. And he's like buying some like nicotine gum and stuff and all the goods. And he bought like a razor and a bunch of other things, just a bunch of man things. And as we're checking him out, he's like, I'm a private investigator. And we're like, oh, that's cool. I mean, not very private, but either way, what a cool. And he's like, oh yeah, and I was at a different store on the other end of town, and I saw that there was this guy with a cart full of things. Like, none of them was bad. Like there was definitely stolen. He's just pushing a bunch of stuff out. I think he mentioned the nicotine gum. Just a bunch of it was being pushed away. So he was just stealing a bunch of gum from a store. And he says that he goes to the manager and he's like, hey, someone just left with a bunch of your stuff. You should call the police. He's like, this isn't very bueno. And the manager is just like, it'll be a write-off. It's fine. I'll deal with it later. It's whatever. And Mr. Private Investigator is like, no. And then they call the police, and then they get it. Then they pretty much just force them to deal with it, because I don't think they're going to deal with it. They don't own the store. And the private investigator is like, all right, I did my work. Not so much investigating needed to be done here, but hey, I'm private. It was just interesting. It was an interesting story. And it was just weird that he would immediately just say, hey, I'm a private investigator. Like, where did that come into play at all? But what was really funny was after he mentions that someone just stole a bunch of stuff, he then goes to leave our store, and then the anti-theft things go off on him. And he doesn't slow down for him. He just blows right past him. And we're like, oh, I guess was this all like just a ruse so he could steal stuff? I guess, because he's gone. Only for him to come in like 20 minutes later saying, hey, this razor I can't get a return, I don't really like it. And it turns out the razor had like a anti-theft sticker inside the packaging somehow. So that was, so he didn't steal anything, but just, we had like a good 20 minutes of thinking, what the hell could he have taken? It's like, because who starts a conversation with, I'm a private investigator? I immediately figured he was doing something funky. But whatever. And then I guess this also happened this week in retail. It happened just today. I didn't work today, but I showed up at my store today because I need to drop off a card for somebody. as their birthday was also on Tuesday. Different person, same birthday, yes. And I go in there and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna spook my coworkers. So I pulled up my hood, and I put my hands in my pockets, and I walked into the store, and then as I got to the front counter, I turned around and started just slowly shuffling towards the front counter to make it look like so they wouldn't know who I was, because they never see me in that sweater and these pants. It's like my Homer Simpson lounge pants and like a bright orange sweater. They didn't see me in that before, so I'm slowly inching my way over there, and one of my coworkers starts to walk from the aisle towards the front of the counter, and I'm like, oh, I gotta turn around. So I turn my head quickly so they can't see my face, and at this point I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna say hey, and it's gonna be fine. And I turn around, and both my coworkers are behind the counter. One of them is staring at me mad. They're like, oh, this guy's trying to steal stuff. He thinks he's cool. He thinks he's the big cojones. No, I'm going to put a stop to this. The other one had an umbrella flipped upside down, ready to smack me in the head. And I turn around, and both of their faces just go down, and then they start laughing. They're like, Harris, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? Hey guys, it's me. It's just so stupid. They genuinely thought that I was trying to just steal or rob them. I don't know. Either way, they were ready for a bit of a beatdown, I guess. So I wasn't ready for it. So I'm glad I outed myself. But yeah, it was just funny. It was a good time. Which now brings us into the topic for today, which I literally don't have written down anywhere. So I'm just gonna be rambling out of my ass for the next maybe 20 minutes. But the title is a work in progress. It's either gonna be something like Time to Change, or New Year, New Me, or just something along those lines. I don't know what it is yet, because I haven't spitballed it enough in my brain. I was going to do that this morning, or whenever I was going to record this today. I honestly have no idea. I don't know. I kind of just forgot that I meant to do this. Very, very responsible like that. But actually, I'm just going to be talking about the new year, because it's almost a new year. Monday is, well, I guess Sunday night into Monday morning is the new year. It'll be 2024 in literally just a few days, which is kind of crazy, because I feel like I'm one of those people that's time pretty much completely stopped. Anywhere from 2018 to 2020, maybe 2020, because COVID and everything kind of just put a halt on the normality of things. It doesn't really feel like it's very much so resumed in any way, which it makes sense. I mean, it's really just been a bunch of nothing. Since 2020, I graduated high school, I went to college for a year, and then that didn't work out for reasons, and then I just started working. Well, I had a few months just doing nothing, and then I started working. It's weird, and this is why I definitely say that I am sure that I lost a ton of my time. I started working at my store last November 2 years ago. So November 2 years ago. So November of 2021, I started working there. And I went to college 2020 to 2021. And I left around July, August, or June, May. Somewhere early, whenever college leaves. I don't know. So from that point to November, I didn't really do anything. A lot of my days were spent just watching a show or laying in bed, literally doing nothing all day, just wallowing in my own despair. Because I guess for a quick recap, the reason I didn't go to college is because I couldn't really afford it anymore. Because a lot of the things that were supposed to be working didn't work. I'm not gonna go too into it. I don't really want to go too into it. But yeah, I didn't. So that went in the shitter, and I was kind of upset about it. So I just kind of wallowed around until I was like, all right, I gotta go find a job. Gotta get some money. Gotta get back there someday. And I could swear. The whole point of this is I could swear that time period that it took me to get up off my ass was over a year. I thought I sat around for a year and a few months. I thought an entire year went by of me just doing nothing, me just lazing around doing absolutely legitimately nothing. Which isn't true. You know, it's only a few months. Still a lot of months, but still, it blows my mind that when I go back to think about it, like, yeah, it wasn't even that long ago. Like, that's crazy. I mean, it was still a couple years ago, but I mean, like, the time period between that, it was not nearly as long as I thought it was. It's just strange. It's very weird to think about. But either way, we're here now. I'm at a job. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with where I am on a lot of fronts. See, this is gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of pauses. I have nothing prepared for this, so I'm just gonna try to talk in a formulated way, unformulatedly. Is that a word? Unformulatedly? It sounds like a word. It's a cool word. It better be a word. I'm not googling it, but it better be a word. But yeah, I'm generally pretty happy with a lot of things, like especially like where I am in terms of like work. Like, yes, it's just retail, very, very basic stuff, but I don't really need anything special. Like, I was going to school for history education because that's what I wanted to do, and I do still want to some extent, but I don't know. I feel like my whole ideology is as long as I'm making people happy or I'm helping people, then I could be doing anything. You know, and like, you know, I mean, retail, you're not really helping people in the same way as teaching. 100% of people would say in a much less important way. But I don't know. It's light enough work and enough like gratification from helping like a fair amount of people that it makes me happy. I don't feel like I necessarily need to go and do something grandiose in order to be happy, which is just great. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't need anything special. I just want to brighten up some people's days. Like if I was miserable at retail, I would be saying probably very different things, but I'm not, because my coworkers are amazing, the environment's amazing. Just everything about the job is generally amazing. Like, I love the people. I love everybody. I can count on one hand the amount of negative interactions, and I can only really count it on one finger, which is one time someone was trying to return something that couldn't be returned under any circumstances, and they got mad at me for it because I was the one telling them that they couldn't do it. But that was a while ago too. That was like the start of when I started working there. So it's been a long time since I've had a genuinely negative experience, and I feel like that's also just because I don't really see much as negative. I don't know. It just kind of happens in the day. You know, someone gets mad, I say sorry, yeah, and I try to help, and if I can't help, then hey, at least I tried, and I don't really take it to heart. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, I genuinely do really enjoy where I am there, and I do. It's weird, I do, and then I also don't see myself going back there anytime soon. I feel like right now I'm very happy, so unless I get unhappy, I'm not really going to change that, you know? One thing I do change a ton, though, and now we're going to completely pivot off of that, is one thing I change a lot is my room. Because currently this is the only room that I technically am the owner of. I would love to have my own place, but yeah, that's probably not going to happen for a pretty long time, if ever. So, for now, I got this room, and I have so much shit to pack into this room. It's not like it's too small of a room, but it's small enough that it just barely doesn't fit everything the way I want it to. And I've been theory crafting how to make this room beautiful and exactly what I wanted to ever since I've really pretty much started living in this room. Full time, you know, after college. And I feel like I'm getting somewhere, you know, like I got the TV in the closet so I can like hide it away and just make it like a normal ass room. I can have the distractions away, that the computer's obviously still here. It's weird. I don't get very distracted by this thing anymore. I used to go on here like every day and be super excited to hop on here. Most of the time now I either just want to hang out with my family or play a board game or just chill on the couch with my cat. I feel like I've gotten a lot more lax, which is cool. I'm more than happy with that. But yeah, like I'm constantly changing around this room, and until I decide to make another huge change in the room, I'm pretty okay with how it is right now. I don't. Again, with the coffee table, can't tell if I like it in this room. You're not gonna see it. I'm not turning on the camera. But God, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know if I like it or not. It's nice to have something there, but then if I want to do VR, which, oh my God, the whole reason I've had this couch here is to do VR stuff. Whether it be for this channel, whether it's because I want to play VR. I've maybe dabbled VR like twice since in the past like 6 months. I want to do more of that. And I really want. That's probably something that I'm going to be doing for the channel. I guess we can talk about some channel changes. Pretty much nothing, if I'm being honest. I mean, how the schedule works right now, I'm pretty content with. Like, however, I am going to be doing something. At the moment, how it was a week of streams and like edit to the streams, and then a week of absolutely nothing, and except for like the Stranded Deep in conversation. If Table 1 was to come out, then Table for 1 would come out. But I want to change it so I'm still streaming 3 times a week at least, except 1 week will be kind of just random shitter videos, just having fun and doing some stupid stuff, and then I can condense those down into edits on the off days, and then the next week would just be either like longer game streams or just streams of other things that I wouldn't necessarily crunch down into an edit, or maybe I will, but maybe I'll save for the next week. Either way, that week would not be like I would keep the days where I would edit to do something else, like work on a different video, like whether it be a VR thing or a new project or something, just so I have some time on my hands. Because it's weird, because for how it is right now, if I'm not just doing the stream edit, I'm doing nothing, and I hate that, because I hate doing nothing. I'm one of the biggest procrastinators anyone's probably ever seen. I gave myself from the 1st of December to the 13th of December to work on the Cheermas videos. And I apologize that some of those did not come out super perfectly. I literally spent one day, because I only had like 3 days off within that period, so I only really had like 3 days I could work with, and one of those I had a Friday, so I was going to spend it with my family no matter what, because that's what Fridays are if I'm off. And I spent one of them recording like 4 videos, and I spent the other one editing those, maybe up recording one more. So by the time Cheermas rolled out, I had maybe 5 videos done. That's why a lot of them were just kind of filler things. Like Lethal Company, I had already played and was gonna edit anyway, but I just threw it in there. The sleep stream, which I'm the overwhelming census on that is not very surprising for me. I don't really go into analytics for the channel for any reason, but 3 dislikes and no likes on Risk of Rain or Risk of Sleep too. I'm not surprised. I think that's hilarious because the entire point of the stream where that came from, which was like 6 months ago, by the way, was that I was going to do a Risk of Rain stream, which was a quick Risk of Rain stream, and then I would close stream instead of closing stream, I accidentally left it on, and you could see what I was doing after I closed the stream for the entire night. I literally went through the entire night just doing dumb shit, and then I would ultimately wake up to my alarm, only to see that the stream didn't end, and this was supposed to be just some stupid shit. It wasn't supposed to be a Risk of Rain 2 video, but I just think it's so funny. I love one of my favorite bits is just catching people off guard, or like subverting expectations. Subverting expectations is one of my favorite bits of all time. Like doing something and then having it completely derail and go somewhere else. That's my favorite thing. I love that. Like one of my favorite videos I've done was the Enter the Gungeon 2 player stream, but it was literally just me fake speedrunning 2 different Enter the Gungeon playthroughs. I thought that was so fun. I love that so much. And that's just it. I have no idea how many views or anything that I got, and I don't care. I mean, I still stand true to that. I don't really care how successful this gets. I mean, if it gets successful, like obviously I'm incredibly grateful for like the Suika video success, but obviously that's just because of the Suika, which is like, yeah. But I played it because I thought it was a fun ass looking game. I love Tetris-y type games like that. But yeah, I just generally, I like doing things that I just like to do, and I also feel like that's probably one of the reasons why I haven't gone back to a few things, is because sometimes the success kind of terrifies me out of doing something. Like when Mario Maker, I did my Mario Maker stream, I was like, people came to play with me, and by the time that stream ended, I was genuinely like nervous and terrified. I was like, okay, I'm never doing that again. And then I edited the video, and that became one of the more viewed videos on my YouTube channel. I was like, okay, never doing that again. I don't know why. I love Mario Maker 2. I've only done it once, and I really want to do it again, and I'm definitely gonna do it again. But I don't know why it just terrified me so bad. I don't know. Just the idea. Now I feel I'm a bit more changed. I feel like, you know, if people, like, it's my 5th most viewed video, the Mario Maker 2, which is cool. Big preach, I guess. But it's just very strange to me how I love when people come into my stuff and like see my stuff and like it and enjoy it. But also it terrifies me. I don't understand that. I honestly couldn't tell you why. But either way, I'm still gonna be doing stuff. I'm gonna try with this new schedule to do other stuff that I've been wanting to do. And I have another series in mind that is eventually going to take place of this. And then this might just be like a live stream that I do, where like every week, instead of having a Stranded Deep in Conversation, it'd be Stranded Deep in Conversation live, where I just chat with you guys, whether it be playing Stranded Deep in I'm so used to. I literally went to look up if anyone else was doing Stranded Deep videos, and I typed into the search bar Stranded Deep in Conversation because I wanted to look up what the potato fuel thing is, like the fuel pack. I wanted to learn how to use that, and so I typed in Stranded Deep in Conversation fuel thing, and it didn't give me search results. I'm like, why? I'm like, oh, because it's not fucking called that, idiot. I've been so used to calling it that, and I just haven't. I've been calling it my freaking series, even when I'm going to search for it, which I think is just funny. But yeah, either way. So eventually something is going to replace this. I don't know when exactly. I'm going to be doing a lot of prep for it because it's definitely something that I want to be good and I want it to be proper quality. But that takes time. That takes time that I have plenty of time. But honestly, it kind of rode on the new setup I was gonna do working, and I hated it because my desk stuck way too much out to the side. It was very in the way. So I reverted the desk back. But I just got this desk, and I like this desk, so I ain't changing the desk. So I'm gonna have to change how I'm gonna perspectivize this shit. I don't know. We'll have to see. Either way, it'll be interesting. If anything, I literally just put up like a thing on the wall. I don't know. I have no idea. I'll explain the thing later when the time comes. But for now, there's still a lot more prep work that needs to go into that. And I say prep work. I'm probably going to forget about it for 4 months, and then I'll think about doing it, and then I'll try, and I'll give up. Because, if I'm being honest, the reason I had that, like the extra week blank, like it was going to be streams, and then just a blank week, was because I was going to do a whole different channel. For those, I'd never mentioned this, or even alluded to this once. I was going to do an animations channel, because I love watching the animated storytime stuff on YouTube, and I was like, I want to do that. That sounds fun. And I and so I got the email set up. I got the everything set up. I didn't get the channel set up. I was gonna set it up when I uploaded the first video, but I did that. I got all the software. I even started doing an intro video, but I started doing the intro video. I got like halfway done with it, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this is coming together so well." And then I just stopped, and now I have no, just any sort of, what's the word? I don't really have any drive to do it anymore, which is, it's weird, because it's like, with bigger projects for me, I get satisfaction just by getting any of it done. I don't know why that is. I want to, like, I don't really see things through to the end. I see them to where I stop with them, and then if it's complete, I will present it. But if it's not, I'll just be like, all right, yeah, that was it. That was fun. It was a good activity. I don't know why I do that. It's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to do like animations on this channel of like some of the stories that I have told on here, or just one to tell in general. Um, and maybe that'll be like a smaller segment on something that I have planned, and the thing I have planned for which we're gonna eventually replace this. But I don't know. I really don't know. There's just a lot. There's a lot going on in my head. And also, I've had a not like a health scare, but I've just been panicky about my general health. So that's definitely something I'm gonna be changing. Not necessarily my weight. I still do, but I used to give a lot of shit. I used to like feel really insecure about my weight. I don't really anymore, just because, like, I mean, I still kind of do. Like when I go on camera, I'm still a little bit self-conscious about it, which I feel like most people are. But I'm not really beating myself up about it anymore, because, I mean, what I would do to combat trying to be fat was just not eat things for a day or for a few days, or like eat very sparingly, and as a result, I get really just internally just fucking, my internals would just feel like shit, and I'd be in a disaster zone, just physically, healthily wise. So I'm not really gonna do that. That's not cool. It's not very poggers of me. So I love that. I love the Chuck E. Cheese video when he just says poggers. Well, I could do it good. Pog. Oh, fuck. Okay. Now I feel like now I feel like I'm being watched. When I do this with my friends all the time. Pog. Pog. Like my brain stopped me from saying it. Pog. It's like I like my throat closes up when I go to say the second syllable. Poggers. Okay, I can do it better, but not now. Not now. Poggers. Poggers. There you go. We'll count that one. I'm not going back to look to listen. So if it's good, cool. I don't know. Just generally speaking, like especially like just general self-care. Not exactly necessarily been the best at. Like my face kind of covered in shit. I kind of want to clean that up a bit. I don't know. I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I hate waiting for the new year to say, hey, I'm gonna do these things. I want to just do them, but I also don't, because I'm a super big procrastinator. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna change these 9 different things I want to do all on this day, starting this day. It's gonna be great. No, that's not how you do it. You're supposed to slowly incorporate it. I understand that. You're supposed to do it. If you want to change, you change now, and you incorporate it through the entire rest of your life. I know that. I'm horrible at that, because procrastination is a bitch. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that, to at least some extent. But I feel like giving myself the time, I'm going back to the schedule, giving myself the few days not editing streams to just work on something, or even just relax and think of something. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do with this channel that I just have been too afraid to do because I don't feel prepared enough or ready enough. There's a lot. Like, this is a completely different idea, but I've had like a parody song of Allentown from Billy Joel called Pallet Town that I've been really wanting to. I've had this for years now. I think like before I even started the channel, I wrote that, and I wanted to share it, or like a little after I started the channel. I wanted to share it, but I didn't know how to play anything. I didn't want to just take the instrumentals from like a freaking like a karaoke thing. But now I probably will, just because I want to share what I did, and eventually, when I'm good enough to go play the instrumentals, I'll go back and do it. But for now, I just want to share the things I have, because I feel like the stuff that I do share that I have is good, but it's a lot of just very stupid, very one-off things. There's not a whole lot of prep work to it. I want to put more of the stuff that I've actually put thought and effort into on this channel, instead of just the stupid bits. Not like I hate the stupid bits. I love the stupid bits, but And this is one thing that actually kind of broke me down for like the walk to work. My ma came into the room. We talked for a bit, and then she was like, "You should do YouTube and stuff. It'd be really fun. You'd be really good at it. You're a really funny guy, and everyone would love you." And she talks about some of the YouTubers like she watches that are boring as hell, and they get tons of followers and shit. And it's like I didn't have the courage to tell her that I do already. And for those of you who don't know, which is all of you, I haven't told a soul in my personal life that I do this. And it's been almost 2 years of doing this. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just not been in the cards for me. Because I feel one of the biggest reasons is that I didn't necessarily feel proud. And I don't know if I necessarily do feel proud of all the things that I do on this channel. I feel like if they found it on their own, cool. But if I were to like tell them about it, I feel like I'd be obliged to show them something, and I don't know what I'd show them. You know, other than like the Retro Bowl series, which is some of the most. I love the Retro Bowl, man. It's such a good. I enjoy making that so much. Oh god, I have to make another one soon. Okay, I'm glad I reminded myself. Dude, I am so off my game. I've given myself this week to just kind of relax and get ready for the next year. But I've been so relaxed. I forgot I had anything to do. I need to record a freaking Retro Bowl. But yeah, like, other than that, and like, I don't really know what I would say is like the stuff that I would qualify as like good content on my channel. Obviously, all of it's funny. Like it's not that I'm ashamed of any of the stuff I've done. It's just that I don't know if I would qualify any of it as good or something I'd want to show anybody. The Terraria AI was pretty fun, but it's not really something that I would show them just because that's not really. I don't know if that's really for anybody. I think Terraria AI was literally just some stupid funny shit that I thought was funny. And I think it is funny. I thought it was great. I loved Terraria AI. That was great. I have a couple of good series. Like Raft. Oh, I love the Raft series. So good. Sorry, I don't mean to be fucking shitting on my own pants. I'm just looking through some stuff. Like the Learning to stuff is the stuff I've done the most recently. Or like more recent, bigger thing. And I can't necessarily say that I'm proud of it. I love the early ones when I was just doing stuff that I wanted to do, but then I really took the alphabetical thing to an extreme, and then that kind of just threw me off a lot of it, honestly. But we did it. We did do 30 things. Well, we did 26 things in apparently 30 episodes, which doesn't feel right, but I guess it is. Where's learning to keep quarrel? Yeah, I guess we did all the things. And I do have something planned for the end of the year, but it's not going to be the end of the year anymore because I just have nothing, none of it's prepared, none of it's planned, and instead of rushing it, I want to make it good. So I'm giving myself some time, but it will be out. Maybe it'll be the 2-year anniversary special for this year for the channel. I'll do that maybe just to be like a bigger thing. So I have a set time frame. I have like 3 months to do it. Okay, yeah. So stay tuned for another 3 months, where I'm going to put to the test all the things I've learned, and and have that. But generally speaking, I do love this channel. I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with everything that is here. And I'm proud to keep going, and I'm very happy to keep going. It's just I want to change some things. So I mean, I change things all the time. I am a creature of change. If things do not change, I get tired of it very quickly. And if if I don't like how things change, then I will revert back. Because that's it. I'm okay with doing the same old, same old. I just like throwing some spice in there. And then if something hits, then it hits. And if it doesn't, then I just go back. And I'm happy I tried, at least in the first place. So I guess the lesson I have for today, which is not supposed to be a lesson, just try stuff. Do something. If you have an idea, go for it. If you want to do something, go do it. Or at least start the preparations to do it. Just don't sit on it for too long, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, and maybe you won't be able to do it tomorrow. So go do it now. Go try to do it as fast, not as fast, but to go do it as soon as possible. in the best way you can. I guess we'll go with that. So thank you all for tuning in to Stranded Deep in Conversation. I hope to see you next time. Happy New Year, everybody. And I'll see you all next time. Bye now.